Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Knights of Eveningstar. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes, and we are back for more Cormyrean Noble Spa Day goodness. I am joined once again by the ever lovely cast. And we have Nate Sharp, Anna Prosser, Mica Burton, and Jonathan Indovino, aka ShadyPenguinn. Hello, my dear friends. How are we all?
Doing well.
Well, quite well.
Nice.
Wait, I have a new autofocus thing on, so I can wait.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Wait.
There it is.
There it
Done
is.
it. Yay.
3D approval.
3D approval.
Oh,
Much appreciated.
it's
And then it
back.
snaps back almost immediately. Wow. Technology. Excellent. I apologize now if I'm a little bit sniffly and bunged up. I am having the worst summer hay fever in the UK. But we're going to power on through and play some Dungeons and Dragons. And that's where we're going to start this week. Is there anything else I need to mention? Is there anything anybody else would like to mention or bring up or talk about that's really cool and exciting before we start rolling some dice?
I just didn't know that the UK had summer. I thought it was just always rainy.
It's mostly rain, and then we have about 2 to 3 weeks of intense, uncomfortable, humid, hot weather that none of us are ready for and prepared for. And also all the trees and grass just go everywhere.
That sounds super unfortunate.
Yeah, it ain't great. And I never used to have hay fever as a kid. And now that I'm an adult who spends all of his time inside writing and painting tiny plastic soldiers, I get it really bad. So, yeah. Yay.
Good luck.
But that's okay because, I play Dungeons and Dragons all the time. So that's great. So that's all good. We are currently playing through. I'll do a full sort of more narrative recap for those of you who aren't fully caught up on the episodes. But we are currently playing through my own adventure in Candlekeep Mysteries. One of the adventures in it I wrote, and we're doing a slightly modified version here on Knights of Eveningstar. And it's the adventure of the price of beauty, but some things are going to be different. Some things are going to change. Most notably, I've leveled everything up. Because these guys are a bit more of a higher level than the adventure is prepared for. But that'll be fun. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are today. Everybody's ready. I did do some little changes. Clive, I have now added Ebonscorn, the magical longsword, to your inventory in D&D Beyond. So that's equipped and attuned for you in there. As far as you know, it's just a +1 longsword. There's not been any more sort of in-depth discovery of what else it may or may not do. But it is a +1 longsword, which is a good thing. A magic weapon never hurts to have. And then I think Agnis, you now have the bow equipped. So I took that off Tarkhal. And Mica has written down all of the treasure that you gained from your jaunt into the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of housekeeping done before we filmed and streamed today. So a little bit there. All right, everybody good? Any questions?
For one of the items, should we sort that out when we get back?
Yes,
okay.
I do not believe you would have carried all of your treasure and goods with you to this spa.
You never know.
Certainly available when you get back.
Gotcha.
Anything
That was
else?
my question. Nope.
Shady? No? Okay.
No questions.
In that case, last time on Knights of Eveningstar, the party have returned from the Shadowfell, from the mysterious ruin of Castle Breywinter, where they were after a magical relic for another Cormyrean noble. But such an endeavor proved to be a little bit more stressful and dangerous than anticipated. And so the party, thanks to an enchanted book sent by Agnis's father, Tarkhal Crownsilver, have traveled to a place called the Temple of the Restful Lilly, an old day spa, really, and temple dedicated to the goddess of love and beauty, Suni. Here, they have found many attendants and staff members, including a young dark-haired man called Seth, who have helped them relax, bathe, have massages, have pedicures, get drunk, and have some rather wonderful little moments. Agnis has also met with one of the three sisters that runs the temple, a lady called Morgana, a moon elf called Morgana, who has been discussing the idea of a more in-depth treatment to make some changes and some transformations as Agnis feels that she may or may not need. The others, I believe that Clive and Tarkhal had briefly met another one of the sisters called Greensong, who is a blind wood elf with a hound companion at her side. And yeah, apart from that, it's just been a bit of a lovely time, really, hasn't it? It's just been a wonderful bit of bonding and arm wrestles and all sorts of nonsense. Very much a needed rest. However, as you guys retire to the rooms that have been provided to you on the house, these lovely, well-kept evening kind of bed and breakfast rooms, Tarkhal, in the middle of the night, after kind of awakening from everybody else, noticed that there was some sort of strange sound out in the hallway. And upon investigating, found what appeared to be a kobold, who at first seemed that they might be trying to break in to a room, but actually was repairing various things around the temple. And Tarkhal reached out to speak to them, but received a rather sort of cryptic and ominous warning that things were not as they seemed. And the little kobold seemed to be terrified of somebody finding out that Tarkhal had spoken to them. Tarkhal returned to bed after this strange encounter, and we begin with a fresh new day. My dear friends, what would you like to do? I will leave the matters of things like hangovers in your capable role-playing hands, whether you wish to be the kind of person that burns it off very quickly due to your magical natures, or whether you are suffering greatly, I leave very much in your hands.
I want to roll a constitution check. I want to leave
You may also do that if that's what you wish to do.
What do you think I need to...
Well, I think you just roll, and then we'll see what number you get.
Let's see. 15.
15. I think that that's pretty good. I think that you know, maybe there's some slight, a mild headache or some sort of mild sort of grogginess. But apart from that, actually not too bad for Agnis.
Gotta love that elf metabolism.
Yeah, exactly. We can chalk it down to elven metabolism, or maybe your druidic training. You've burnt off the alcohol in your system or something like that.
The fire inside me eats alcohol faster.
There you go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. What about everyone else? How's everyone else feeling? And are there any plans? I know that Agnis obviously has some plans, but you guys still have this wonderful place to enjoy and relax as you see fit. I believe Clive was quite interested in some potential workouts that were scheduled for the mornings.
Yeah, I was. I just found I was looking at my character sheet. There's this really cool thing on D&D Beyond where I click long rest and my page crashes. So that's cool.
Oh,
cool thing. Well, we can get that back. It's not like you guys are going to need your character sheets today, right? I mean, it's just a lovely spa.
Yeah.
Who needs dice and combat abilities? Okay. Anything from Shady? Azara? Anything you guys would like to do? Tarkhal, Azara?
Tarkhal is definitely not hungover at all because that was nowhere near enough alcohol. He just had like half a bottle of wine with Blade Captain, so I don't think it was enough. But he's also super cautious now. Obviously, he got a warning from a strange kobold that this place is not as it seems and you should not be here. So I think he's kind of he's not going to try to do any of the activities, but he does want some food.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys haven't eaten and stuff. You'll need to have some sort of food. Okay, sure. Alyssa is also with you guys, as mentioned before. It's always very difficult to keep track of friendly NPCs because I'm thinking about a million other things. But Alyssa is also here. She had been sort of taking care of her own business. She had various sort of treatments on her own during the day while you guys were off doing other things, but is currently asleep in a chair in Azara's room, sort of like has curled up into one of these sort of larger, comfy looking chairs, and was asleep in that upon waking.
I think that Azara probably would have woken up before Alyssa because with her dragon constitution, hangovers aren't a thing. So she would have like put a blanket over her before she left and wanted to go check out the temple, but this time put on her armor and is bringing her staff with her. Okay. Although she doesn't actually wear armor, so technically she's just kind of like putting on like one of the nice like a resort frock and is bringing her staff with her and is going to check out the
all of
temple.
her other equipment and stuff like that. Okay, sure. Okay. Agnes?
Does Azara mention that she's going back to the temple?
I probably would have told Agnes since she was the one who broke it.
Agnes would be like, totally down. Just give me a sec. And she'll just kind of like splash some water on her face and then she'll grab all of her accoutrement as well and come with Azara.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Tarkhal and Clive would probably notice you guys are not geared for spa day activities.
Are we leaving? Are we done at the spa?
No. Just we found some interesting stuff out in the grounds. So we just wanted to check it out.
And it's never a bad idea to bring along protection in case there's unspecified dangers.
Hey, always want to be safe.
Is Clive in a robe?
I am here now.
No, is he in a robe or is he in like...
Wait, no. Yeah, he has the tiny robe, but still like carrying all his stuff around, dragging it on the floor.
Okay.
Also, did I hear back about working for the place to handle these water spirit things?
You hadn't yet. I think that because you guys were enjoying the things and Morgana had seemingly spoken to Agnes, it hadn't come up, but it still might. You guys have literally been here a day. There've been other things going on, but hopefully maybe today you'll hear back on something like that. Yeah.
So where is this interesting place?
I was going to ask. Yes.
Oh.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's just the temple, the ruins seemed pretty interesting last night, so we thought, why not check it out today in the daytime?
Truth is that we she looks at Azara like
we may have trespassed slightly.
Briefly.
In our defense, there were no signs.
No, I didn't see any.
And it wasn't an explicit no. It was, it's not wise. But we figured that's not a no.
Point is, there's like some ghosties, but we want to go check it out. So you can come if you want.
I'll look at Clive. Ghosties?
At the sound of anything remotely more interesting, when you look at Clive, he's already putting his armor back on. Like, this is what we came here for there, lad. This is the specialty.
Let me go grab my stuff then, and I'll go back to my room and grab my my leather and my kiss of silver.
Sure. Let me just... No reason just throwing some things together here.
I feel like everything Mark planned for tonight is just not this.
No, it's this is I didn't expect you guys to go back maybe so soon. So I hadn't actually I hadn't built the encounter for it.
First thing in the morning, punching a demon in the face.
So yeah, gathering up your goods and things like that. You guys get your gear together and things like that. There's definitely you do notice a couple of things. First of all, when you're getting all of your gear and things together, your healing potions aren't there.
What? Where?
Yeah, your weapons and armor, anything really obvious, but actually when you're kind of like checking your bags and things like that and kind of getting everything together, healing potions, any sort of like healing items are not there.
Can I see any clues of like anyone having taken them or anything like that?
No, I mean, you guys, I don't think that there would be any visible, there's no sign that your things have been disturbed or anything like that.
Azara would absolutely walk to the front desk and look for Sayeth.
Yeah, you probably find Sayeth not at the front desk, probably actually like cleaning the main sort of reception area, just light dusting and sort of humming to himself.
Azara clear throat. Hi, excuse me.
Yes, good day, Lady Azara. How may I help you? Did you sleep well?
Wonderfully. The blankets were quite warm, bed quite soft.
To hear it.
I just have a quick concern. Is there a lost and found department or a formal place to register a missing item or a complaint. I feel that in the transportation of all of our goods, I know it's a lot. We come bearing a lot of armor and weapons. It seems that our potions have vanished.
Oh my goodness! Well, this is very alarming. I mean, any sort of lost item would be registered with me, and I can assure you, I understand that you likely have concerns of the staff here, but they're all extremely loyal and would have no reason to steal such items. I mean, was there anything else missing?
No, I don't, and please don't think this is me accusing the staff of theft or of deception. I think maybe it was possibly misplaced, or it fell, or there were just so many things to handle that it.
We can check to see if the lockers in the changing area containing your items, but it's very unlike our staff to misplace something like that. We only have a few guests here, as you've seen. I do have some concerns, and you can see there's something that Seth isn't saying. Your natural insight, all of you, especially Agnis and Azara, you can see that there's definitely something weighing on Seth's mind, but he's not sort of speaking it out loud. He's just like, well, we'll certainly have to speak with the staff. I can certainly ask them.
Azara kind of cuts him off, seeing that, and like puts one like calming, persuasive hand on his arm, and is like, if there's anything that is going on, please know that we are happy to help, whether it be the water spirits or something else. We're here to help.
It is possible that, as I've mentioned before, the temple is quite close to the Feywild here, and so mischievous spirits and things are not uncommon. There is also, this is quite crass of me to say, and being guests, I don't want to bring the temple into ill repute, but we do have some, well, at least one of the guests is a suspicious sort, sneaking around. I've heard them shuffling around at night, but also we have a new member of staff, the masseuse, who saw you yesterday, Ilmar Drow. They seemed very well trained, and they certainly had the skills we required, almost alarmingly fitting for the role. They only arrived a few weeks ago. I believe that they're the only ones who really would have interacted you yesterday, and maybe that they saw that you are wealthy individuals. Perhaps they thought that a few things like potions would not be amiss. Still, I should speak with them myself. I fear that this is on the temple to resolve such a matter. I can assure you, I will not stop. I will not cease until I can locate these missing items of yours.
Well, I know that we appreciate it, and the people here are under good hands and good watch with you. If there's anything we can do, please let us know.
I would simply ask you, Lady Azara, do keep an eye out, especially for the other guest, the half-elf. What was his name? This is Mark having to look his name up. Where was it? I want this episode. I have my notes really scattered around, so there we go. It's this one. Kefir. Yes, Mr. Kefir Bellhorn. Not really much background. Hasn't really spoken to any much. Has kind of kept to themselves. Perhaps keep yourself quiet around them. I will investigate with the staff. I will ask around to see if these items have been found or if anyone knows of anything. I'll also see who exactly were responsible for transporting your goods, if anybody was aware of it. I'm so sorry. Please, I mean, can we offer you anything? Can we offer you anything in compliments to make up for this terrible service that has befallen to you?
Zara kind of like looks back at her group, knowing that they loved all of the treatments, and she kind of turns around and smiles and is like, now the people of Eveningstar would never want to take advantage of such a situation. However, if you are offering, I do know that those massages yesterday were quite wonderful and relaxing for my group, and
Absolutely. It is the very least that we can do, a full treatment package. If you wish, waxings, haircuts, manicures, pedicures, massages, whatever you desire, please avail yourself to our things. I will also speak with the owners. They will be most distraught to hear about this, and I'm sure that they will wish to convey their apologies and their and see what else they can do. I will also see if we have someone else available for the massages, just in case there is anything untowards. Perhaps the sisters themselves would be willing to take up and deliver a personal service.
Don't suspect anyone.
Yes.
On our account.
No,
I wouldn't want you to be casting suspicion on people just because they're different or new.
No, of course. It's simply, I know many of the staff personally, and I have great trust with them. It is just simply because, yes, they are new and I don't know them as well. I would never dream of casting any direct suspicions. I will speak to the whole staff. I will speak to the owners to see what we can discover. But I think perhaps the sisters themselves may wish to personally make up for it by delivering any exotic treatments themselves.
You are too kind. We apologize for bringing such alarming news to you so early in the morning, but for now we're just going to take a walk, just a nice walk.
Okay.
Nowhere in
Say
particular.
Looks at you guys with armor and weapons and things like that, and is like, well, as I mentioned to you yesterday, Lady Azara, Lady Agnis, please do be careful. The woodlands here, as I say, do connect to the Feywild, and there are many beasts and things that can loom and roam in these areas. Like I said, the old temple, I really must advise you go anywhere near it. It is tragic and awful, frightful sounds have been heard coming from it of late.
If someone were to kind of help prevent future creepiness coming from the temple, would that be of help, or is there anything you?
Well, would you, for a brief moment, wait here? Let me fetch the Mistress Morgana. Let her. I think that this is something that she may wish to speak with you directly about. I know that Sir Clive here also mentioned about dealing with the water spirits. There may be something that we can discuss here. Just a moment, just a brief moment of your time, and let me speak with the owners. Yes. Very good. Thank you so much. Once again, my deepest apologies on behalf of the temple. And he sort of leaves through the main gate, and you hear him sort of like head off to another building. He leaves the actual main temple area, and maybe Agnis and Azara, probably you imagine he's heading to that tower. It's the only other real building that was nearby. It doesn't take very long, maybe sort of 10 minutes, when Saith returns accompanied by 3 figures, 2 of which most of you recognize. One is Morgana, this moon elf, pale blue skin, sleek, dark, almost razor sharp black hair, red lips, beautiful eye makeup, very, very glamorous, well dressed. Tallest of the 3. The other is the blind wood elf Greensong, with her hound companion and her staff kind of helping her find her way. Very young, quite pretty, but in this kind of delicate wallflower sense. And then the last one is a figure you haven't seen before. She is tall, very muscular, a sun elf. You see a very athletic build, a big sort of furred collar or shawl around her neck, and almost like a short cape, like a mantle, a furred mantle around her neck and back, gleaming golden armor. You can see a large hammer as being sort of like attached in a back sheath as well. Kind of almost like Agnis red, fiery brown hair spilling around her in a sort of frizzy curled notion. And the 3 of them arrive. Morgana and Greensong seem to be all smiles. This sun elf seems to have a bit more of a stern expression, not so much a frown, but less smiley than the other 2. And when they arrive, Morgana just looks. My dear guests, I must offer you the most humble of apologies. I'm so sorry to hear that something has gone missing whilst you've been staying with us. Seth has assured me he will be looking for your lost items, and I'm sure that this is simply a case of our staff have misplaced them or misjudged the situation, and we will resolve it and make sure that you are compensated appropriately. But Seth has also mentioned you intend to head to the old temple, the Temple of Suni.
It was more like if we end up there, you know, we do have experience with, you know, battle, just in case, you know, it could be of help. We weren't like gonna you know.
No. This was a hypothetical situation. We were going to take a walk. We were only dressed this way with our weapons because we were warned of the dangers, but we figured if we happened to end up near in the temple and things presented themselves in a way that a problem could be taken care of, would that be helpful?
At this, a couple of things. You notice a few things. The big sun elf, the tall, athletic sun elf lady, is very much looking at Clive. Like, you can see her kind of almost like looking Clive up and down, assessing him as like a, you know, as a warrior might, and as a fellow warrior might. Morgana's eyes constantly drift towards Tarkhal and Azara. Like, she bounces between the two, and there is a sort of smirk, like a kind of interested smirk there. Like, you can find that the two of you, she finds the two of you quite interesting. Green Song, this kind of, you know, very petite, dainty wood elf with this white veil, kind of steps forward, and she's like, "Oh, you must be ever so careful. I'm sure that you must. I do not know what experience you have, but we are not. I do not believe that there is anything, whatever creature still resides in that place. Oh, it must be so twisted by evil and hatred. I have heard its howls at night. I have difficulty sleeping, and the noises, the screams that can be heard. I fear that whatever remains there is truly a dangerous thing. I do not know what beast you have befelled, but this is no mere goblin or infestation of other creatures that many adventurers face. Are you sure that you would be able to take care of such a beast?"
You are kind to be concerned, but yes.
We did have a recent encounter with a shadow dragon from the Shadowfell, and it was quite successful, wouldn't you say? And she looks back to the rest of the group.
Yeah, and you know, some celestials and some other, you know,
Really?
Shadowfell. Yeah, it's not to brag or anything. Just
No. This is reassuring to know that we are attended. That we have such powerful adventurers staying at our temple, at our resort. What of you, my good sirs? And Morgana looks at Tarkhal, and is just like, Mr. Tarkhal, was it? I believe.
Yes.
You have been quite quiet. Are you the sort of silent, dangerous type? And she kind of smiles when she says that.
Tarkhal tilts his head, says, "I just don't like to talk if I don't have much to say, but I can handle myself."
Good.
Plus, we've got him, and I'll pat Clive on the shoulder if I can reach it. I think I can.
Don't mind me. I'm just an observer. I'm not even here.
The
Big
sun
line
elf
standing.
woman definitely looks in your direction. So, would you say that what are you, some sort of pacifist then? Do you not get involved in fights or conflict?
Oh no, I get very much involved in both fights and conflict.
Good. Okay. Maybe this one can handle. I think that these four may be able to help us with our problems, sisters. Not just perhaps the temple. We've been thinking of getting rid of whatever horror still lurks in that place. We could perhaps turn it into something useful, the building there. But there's also that spirit, those water spirits that keep messing with the baths.
I've been waiting to hear back about those.
Yes, I'm sorry, my friend. I was training myself yesterday. I was out hunting in the woods. I've only just been informed. I was scheduled to lead a class, a workout regime this morning. I was going to speak with you then, but perhaps it seems that this is a better opportunity for a test of strength.
There's a spirit that needs clobbering.
Yes. Yes, it's something that I would have dealt with myself, but the spirits, they flee as soon as they see me. I've been unable to capture them. They're capricious. You need to lure them in. They simply know that I'm trying to get rid of them, so they flee before I can strike. Perhaps you may have better luck. They are sneaky things. They hide in the water. They're almost invisible when they do so. So you'll need to find a way to lure them out. But I think that my sisters and I agreed, if you can solve these problems for us, why, we have gold, we have relics that we can provide you in payment, perhaps for dealing with these matters.
Gold for the...
We have no use for such things.
No,
The
we
glory of
no,
no,
do
we
have
do.
use-
We have
We
so
actually
much
could
our-
use that stuff.
we are trying to rebuild
Hey, fine,
our
they can have it.
town, and we would use the gold not for ourselves. Certainly, we have no need, but our people might.
Well, I think that this all seems exceptionally fitting, and we would be most grateful. Whatever you find, the Morgana, the sort of moon elf lady, kind of takes the lead now. Whatever you find in the temple, do be wary. I would advise spirits or whatever vengeful spirit or creature may be there. I imagine it to be deceptive and haunted, perhaps even mad. I would be cautious when you enter there. We have dared not. We've sealed the place up, too afraid to deal with it even ourselves. So do be cautious. Strike quickly, strike swiftly. With the water spirits, as my dear sister Azrissa said, they are duplicitous and sneaky. They keep themselves hidden. They come to play pranks, but as I do not know if you are familiar with Fey beings, what they perceive as a prank or a trick can actually be quite harmful to living creatures. They don't understand that we will not simply heal and reform, that we are perhaps more mortal than the figures they are used to dealing with.
Sounds like a non-Fey problem. Maybe you should toughen up a bit.
Interesting. Perhaps you are quite right. I am not much of a fighter myself. I am more interested in beauty and art and a little bit of magic. My sister Azrissa is the fighter, and as she told you, they seem to flee from her presence before she can strike a blow. I have no fear that she would be able to take care of these creatures on her own, but sadly, they won't even let her get close.
As he's saying all that stuff, I think all of us are just like, Clive.
Well, you're in luck. We happen to have a brave fighter who also knows his way around the Feywild, as our friend Clive here comes from the Feywild himself.
Oh, truly. Interesting. Well, we are very honored to have such guests here at the Restful
That's me,
Lilly.
I'm from the Feywild.
Yes,
Azara just kind of like...
gathered.
Sorry, I was
have
thinking
you-
about something else, but I had something to add there.
Do they have, forgive me, my knowledge is not too familiar with the Feywild. Are there schools and educations in the Feywild, or have you simply sort of lived by your wits and cunning so far?
Sick burn.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you got a lip on you.
No, a mere question, my good man. I was simply curious to know if you have had the more formal education, or if, as I said, you have lived by your cunning and your wits.
No textbook ever hunted prey for me.
I see. Very fitting, very fitting. Well, indeed, we need a strong arm, and it seems that a strong arm you have, Mr. or Sir Wildmane, and it seems that you have powerful magical users, I would assume, and she looks in Azara's direction, and, well, a man who can handle himself, as she looks at Tarkhal.
Ha!
What do you mean, ha? I beat you in arm wrestling.
Pretty sure I'd emerge victorious in that one, lad.
Maybe. You did, that's right. Well,
Clive
anyway.
of the Wild Mane.
Clive of the Wild Mane.
Clive of the Wild Mane.
We should get going.
Sure. The sisters will simply wish you luck. They sort of nod in the direction of the old temple, if that is indeed where you wish to head, and will point you in that direction, unless you wish to go and try and deal with these water spirits.
Temple.
Tarkhal votes for Temple because he wants to talk to everyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the sisters simply bow and wave you on, wishing you good luck. Green Song, please do be careful. We would hate for anything to happen to you, and if need be, there is no shame in running, fleeing if the threat is too great. Please just return to us in safe condition. And just let you carry on. You guys make your way around the side of the Temple of the Restful Lily and begin making your way to the rear. Clive and Tarkhal, you hadn't seen this before. Agnis and Azara lead the way. You pass by a tall, almost wizard's-like tower with a kind of spiraled roof. Very beautiful, again, made from the same white stone with these beautiful elven statues posed around the door. Just, this very elegant tower. It seems to almost be like a residence. And then further behind that, at the very back, being overgrown by weeds and ivy, the tree line encroaching around it, is this broken ruin of an old temple. But anywhere that somebody could get in, you can see that it's been covered by this thick sap amber-like resin. And the windows have been boarded behind the resin and things like that, all kind of coating around it. The only entrance that you can potentially see is this hole in the roof about sort of 30 feet, 25 feet up at the very top of what would have once been a beautiful arched roof. And yeah, it seems to be quiet. There doesn't appear to be anyone around you.
If it seems like we're alone, I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead. Someone's talking.
Uh-oh.
So you guys are making your way past the tower. Like I said, it's almost like a residence, a wizard's kind of tower, stretching up. And then behind it, you see this ruined temple covered in this kind of thick resin amber, blocking off all the entrances and exits. And the only entrance appears to be a hole in the roof about 25, 30 feet up in the air. And that is where I hand it back over to you guys. You do seem to be alone. So if now you wish to speak, now seems to be a good time.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I guess Tarkhal would just look to everyone. Last night when we were sleeping, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a kobold that was fixing the locks on the guest rooms, but he was terrified when I spoke to him, and he did not look anything else like the other help, in rags. And the last thing he said to me was, "You shouldn't be here. Don't tell anyone I spoke to you. They'll make me like them." And he ran off. So
them.
I don't know what he was implying, but I don't trust the temple and the sisters.
What do you think we should do?
I mean, they are offering us gold. I just think we should keep our wits about us. I don't think slaying, if you guys know what's in there, if there's a spirit in there as they were implying, or some mad soul, I don't think removing that is gonna, benefit them if they are evil as well. It'll come up. I just don't think we should trust them entirely. They're very smooth with their words, and I didn't like the way they were looking at me.
I think one of them just had a crush on you, Tarkhal, if you don't mind me saying. But
looking at you in the same way, Azara, just as an FYI.
Oh!
Yeah.
They were giving us both the same.
Yeah, the same that
We put
look.
you in a cauldron and cook you up as a soup. That's the vibes I was getting.
You could interpret it that way.
Well, all the more reason to take their gold, honestly.
And as for what is in the temple, we did trespass, and we did almost get attacked by something. Can't be good, whatever it is. And Azara's kind of like has that haunted 1,000-yard stare.
We should probably continue with this plan to diminish the temple threat, collect the gold, and then perhaps we could somehow keep watch at night and see if we could talk to this kobold again, get more information.
We could try. He did not seem like he could mince words. He was off in a hurry. The second I got closer to him to speak more, he ran off. He was afraid for his life.
Well, maybe we could investigate, follow someone.
And maybe this has something to do with the new masseuse that Sayeth was speaking of. This could be deeper than we know. The sisters could be involved or they couldn't be. Maybe you should take Morgana on a date, Tarkhal, and see what happens.
Maybe you should take Morgana on a date. I think she lingered longer on you than I.
Listen! And Azara will just kind of like head towards the door.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's the same problem. The doors are all barricaded, covered in this thick resin. It does look, you could try and break it down, but you don't see any easy or obvious entrances apart from that hole that unless you do the teleports or unless you climb up and drop down like you did before. There doesn't seem to be an easy way into this place.
And wait, is there a spot where Clive can just do the smashy smash?
I was gonna ask if I could.
You could certainly try. You can certainly try.
Okay.
We can also get in the way that we did before.
So I start swinging.
Yeah, it's just that the way that you did before, Agnis, you had to climb up, like 25, 30 feet and then drop down. And it's a straight drop, which is, you're going to take falling damage and stuff. But Clive smashy smash anyway. So Clive, you will need to give me an athletics check, please.
Great. That is a 21.
21. You only just, and it takes you a bit of time. It takes you sort of like a good couple of minutes of like with the Morning Star or with some sort of weapon or whatever, just like breaking down and chipping off this resin and smashing through the wooden barricades. It's loud. And the second that you hear this big, heavy splintering smack and the crack of the resin that begins to crumble, you hear a deep kind of wailing screech, like come from within this temple somewhere.
Well, there.
All right, so I should do it again then. All right, I'm gonna do it again. I'll smash again.
Yeah, I mean, so you keep smashing away and you break enough of a hole in this resin door that you guys can squeeze through. Like, it's going to be like you kind of have to video game shuffle your way through like a small kind of gap. It does slow you guys down moving through it, but it's big enough that you can squeeze through.
Someone inside was screaming about it.
I will kind of try to go ahead and observe with my observant feet.
Sure.
See if I see anything that we should know before we charge in.
My brain registered feet with eyes on them.
My feet. No, Agnis, you see the same thing that you did before. You see this rather sad, broken interior of a temple that would have once probably been beautiful. These great mirrors would have once hung up that anybody in the temple could have looked up and seen themselves, beautifully lit and everything else. There are basins where somebody would have been able to wash themselves and clean themselves, scattered around sort of like the edges as well. There are broken pews. The floor is covered in broken glass. You can see that all the pieces of the great mirrors of this temple have shattered and are now covering the floor. And then at the far end, you see this statue of a beautiful woman just wearing her hair, almost like the hair drifts over her body parts and things like that, but this kind of fiery red mane. But it's so dirty and grubby with filth that it looks like she's weeping, and her body's completely stained and covered by everything. And there is a set of stairs, a kind of curving stairs behind the statue leading down.
Clive, would you like to lead?
Yeah.
All right, off we go then.
What's your passive perception there, Agnis?
It is quite high. It is 23.
Damn.
23. You spot them, at the time. You see a figure. You don't really see much of them. They're covered in some sort of robe, or you actually, to you, it would look almost like a robe, but it could also just be like a wraith-like figure. You see this kind of like shape of gray mass is coming up the stairs, and you see a glint of steel as they are going to, they're going to take a pot shot at Clive as they do so.
Watch out! Take cover!
Yeah. I'm not going to give advantage because I'm assuming that you're going to be calling out. So that's only going to be a 12. So the arrow kind of flies through, and Clive, thanks to Agnes's warning, you managed to kind of throw yourself to the side or bat the arrow out of the air with your weapon. And you just hear this voice, this kind of rasping voice. Get out! Haven't you done enough? And then something disappears back down.
Haven't we done enough? What have we done?
We haven't done shit yet. I'm going after him.
Right. So when you run through the area, Clive, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
For the broken glass?
Yep.
Wait, I have a thing.
You talk of danger sense, I believe.
I do talk of danger sense. Yes, I have advantage. Sick.
You do? Because it's if you can see it, right? Danger sense is if you can see it, you get advantage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You saw it.
Need advantage. Okay, that is 15 plus 17.
17. Okay, so you just managed to kind of half hop over, because this broken glass is razor sharp, and running across, even with your kind of like padded furred feet, you kind of try and pick and choose the areas to move through as you dash towards it. It doesn't take you long. You can pretty, with an action and a dash, you can cross all the way to the stairs, and then you can begin making your way down. But that's we'll kind of go into a loose initiative here. That's what Clive's doing. What's everyone else doing?
Azara, not wanting Clive to almost die again, will misty step across the glass to kind of avoid it, and follow after him.
Okay, give me...
Clive's like running, so I'm assuming it's like the momentum I have. I couldn't stop, so I'm trying to just land where there's not glass, like going in screwing there. Oh no, my.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, in fact, actually, with a dash, Clive, you can basically make it down the stairs as well. Actually, I misjudged my memory of how big this place was a little bit off. Okay, so sorry, Azara and the rest of you, what are you guys doing? I was checking something there. Totally blanked.
I misty stepped behind him.
Directly behind Clive. Okay, so as a bonus action, you woof directly to Clive. Unfortunately, you can't. You have to basically misty step to the top of the stairs because you can't see down. So then you can.
Oh wait, are we in initiative? Is that like part of an action?
We're taking it as a loose initiative. Like you guys can move action, bonus action stuff because Clive kind of rushed forwards.
Gotcha.
But we'll just, we won't roll initiative until there's, a more direct conflict.
Then
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll misty step just behind him, just so I'm like right on his heels.
Yep. Okay. Agnis and Tarkhal.
I'm gonna take the action to summon Candor.
Okay.
And then use Candor's action to fiery teleport myself to follow Azara.
Yep. So you're going behind Azara. Tarkhal, everyone is just rushing forward ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to run and dodge the glass. Can I just? Can I?
Dex saving throw.
Cool.
Do some cool ass rogue shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to I want to run along the wall or something. 9 and Dex saving throw. You said
Dex saving throw.
So 17.
Okay. Still, I mean, 9, I was a bit worried, but I should have known better. You easily kind of kip off of these broken sections of stone, kind of using those to hop between a little bit of sort of like running along. Maybe there's like a piece of tapestry that's hanging down. You grab and swing on it and land behind everybody else as you guys rush down. The staircase curves. It goes down sort of maybe 20 feet into like a basement area. And you immediately, a couple of things. First of all, there is a soft white glow. This room would almost be pitch black because it's completely underground. There's no light sources. Your dark vision all begins kicking in. But there is a soft white glow coming from a square pool set into the floor of this chamber. So almost imagine sort of like an underwater, like an underground sort of pool, like a bath almost, with steps that lead down into it. There are torn cushions, rugs, and tapestries and clothing that has been piled into one corner of this space as an almost makeshift bed or lair, while twigs and scraps of deadfall form a simple campfire. The most immediate effect, however, as all 4 of you rush downstairs, is the figure that is kind of stood would be an incorrect term. A figure with a serpentine-like body for their lower half is wading in the pool. They point a longbow in your direction, And as they pull their hood back with one hand, a woman's face, a beautiful elven woman's face with snake-like hair, stares at all 4 of you. And I'm going to need some saving throws, then initiative.
What?
Don't look. No.
Well, you guys didn't know what was down here, so you are looking when you run down, and that's going to be a Constitution saving throw from everybody immediately.
Thank God.
Medusa.
15.
TK, let's go.
15.
23.
That's 5.
19.
19. So everybody, Clive, Azara, Agnis, you guys rush down, you see this thing, and you watch as her eyes flare with power. You blink for a second, and you almost feel your body kind of stiffen, as if, your joints are seizing up, but you kind of shake it off, whatever effect you manage to hide your eyes or whatever it is happens to be. Tarkhal, however, this gaze catches you right, and there's the woman that you see before you, there is something monstrous about her, this kind of long serpentine tail where her legs should be, but she's dressed in these kind of robes that would have once been beautiful white robes, with slit sleeves, but they're now ragged and soiled, hanging off her like rags. Her face, she has a very beautiful angular face, but then this twisted hair of snakes all over it. And you can see there is just a broken emblem, some sort of symbol, like a broken jewel on her necklace. But that's the last thing you see. Well, not the last thing you see, but as you see that, you feel your body beginning to it's becoming hard to move. You can begin to see pieces of your skin turning to stone. You are restrained and you are beginning to turn to stone.
Uh-oh.
That is where we're going to roll initiative.
Rolling well today. Knock on wood.
Knock on stone.
I got a
Knock on
19 total.
19 for Azara.
Also
Tarkhal.
19. Sorry.
19 for Clive as well, sorry.
I got a 22.
22. And
12.
Agnis. 12. Okay. So, Tarkhal, you're going to be going first. A couple of quick things. I just want to do just a bit of RP and stuff. As she kind of, this Medusa, and it is a Medusa, glares at you and you feel this rush of power. You can see that her cheeks are just streaked with tears and she just is screaming, get out, you shouldn't be here, at you as you rush in. Tarkhal, the restrained creature must repeat the same throw at the end of your turn. So you are restrained, which means that your speed is 0. You have disadvantage on attack rolls. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and you have disadvantage on dex saving throws. But it is your turn. You are the first to act.
So I will still slowly, while I feel my legs turning to stone. Wait, go ahead.
What did you roll on your save?
On my save, I rolled a total of a 5.
I just read a part of this ability that I hadn't seen before.
Uh-oh.
There is not a slow transformation. As Tarkhal sees this, it is instant. Tarkhal's body, to you, it's almost like you feel asleep, Tarkhal. I'm sorry, Shady. I feel like you always get these kind of effects. But as you rush in, you just feel, and the rest of you are like you're kind of waiting for Tarkhal to strike. And when you turn around, Tarkhal is frozen into a statue. He is petrified.
Oh, Tarkhal.
I have never read that. There's a tiny sentence in between, the creature makes the saving throw, and then a creature fails the saving throw, begins to turn to stone, and it says, if the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature is instantly petrified. I'd never seen that line before, and I was rereading it, and I was like, fuck.
Is that a curse?
It could be.
And you said save is 5 or more, so it was a 10. What was a save?
I'm not going to tell you what the DC was, because they're going to be making more of this save.
Gotcha.
But you failed it by more than 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, then I do nothing.
Unfortunately, mate, you do. But you can, it's petrification. It's, there are ways around it and things like that. For the rest of you, because you are no longer surprised, at the start of your turns, you can choose to avert your eyes. If you do, you're basically blinded. So you are considered blinded for that turn. But yeah, Tarkhal flash frozen. The Medusa screams at you, get out, get out. You shouldn't be here. Azara.
Yeah. All right. I am going to. What can you describe the room a little bit, just so I know the space?
So yeah, it's not very big. It is where you guys are stood. You've kind of rushed down the stairs. It's maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's about 30 feet by 30 feet. So it's this, small chamber, stone chamber, but it's almost dominated by a 20 by 20 pool, like a shallow pool, like enough to kind of get to your waist in, with steps leading down to it. There is a soft white glow. The rest of the room is pretty barren, except for in the corner, there is like a pile of ragged clothes and tapestries, like somebody's made like a nest or a bed. There's like a very pathetic looking campfire at the ready. And yeah.
Okay. I am going to, great idea, me. I am going to cast Fog Cloud, centered on where the Medusa is, like on her face. Because I'm assuming, can I make like an Arcana check? Like Azara knows about these creatures. Like
I would say all of you guys being seasoned adventurers, I like doing this because you as players know stuff about Medusas that it's going to be hard to pretend you don't know.
Right.
So things like you can, like, that if you look in her eyes, like she can turn you to stone and stuff like that. Like the curse of the Medusa is a known thing. Right. You don't know exactly how what abilities or what things she can do, but you know enough that like probably shouldn't look at that. It's just that you didn't know she was down here. Right. So you guys all ran in and she gets to kind of do it, for free because you guys are all looking in her direction. But now it's your turn. Yeah. Okay. You can choose at the start of your turn to avert your gaze, but you can't see her if you do that. You are basically blinded.
Right. I'm going to use my movement to kind of get to kind of the edge of this room. And then I'm going to quicken my spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to...
So cast as bonus action.
Yep. I'm going to cast... Do I have to quicken it if it's a charge from the Snowmorn?
Yeah, you can't quicken it if it's a charge from the Snowmorn. If it's from Snowmorn, it's not one of your spells, so you can't quicken it.
It's just an action. Well, then I won't cast it from the Snowmorn. I'll just cast it at a regular first level.
Okay.
And I'll cast it on her face, like fog cloud right on her face. And then I would like to...
Yep. You don't need to see to be able to create it. Nice.
Yep. And then I would like to, as my... action, firebolt her.
Okay. She is heavily obscured. So right now, the fog cloud fills the entire chamber, by the way. This whole room is completely dominated by this thick mist that Azara creates, like a squall from a storm. The pool begins to rise, creating this thick mist and fog. So a heavily obscured area. A creature effectively suffers from the blinded condition when trying to see something in that area. So you guys can't see her and you can't see her, but so you can still attack, but it's with disadvantage. So the firebolt would be with disadvantage.
That is fine. It is still saving us from being petrified.
Well,
kind of.
Saving 3 of you.
Yeah, well,
Shady's just
listen,
there, just like...
I'm doing my best. 11 plus 7, that's 18 to hit.
18 with the disadvantage?
Yeah.
Nice. So the fire streaks through, and maybe it's just a vague shape or something. It hits something.
Cool. So that's 2d10 of fire damage. 9.
9 points of fire damage. You hear a kind of shriek of pain. You've been sent to torment me. You've been sent to torment me.
Is it a free action to talk, or is that an action?
To a brief extent, like you can get a couple of words out, like she just did.
Azara will essentially. Actually, no. It's fine. That's the end of my turn.
All right. Okay. Clive of the Wildmane.
So anyway, I start swinging.
So you're just going to start wading towards her and just start...
I'm going to rage first and foremost. So we're going to do a roll. We have magic infuses one weapon of your choice. So it's going to be Ebonscorn.
Okay.
Let's see. Weapons damage type changes to force, and it gains the light and thrown properties.
Okay.
So
don't forget, longsword you can wield two-handed as well, and it'll do D10 damage as well.
I'm gonna do that.
Well, as you start wading through the water, Clive, something tries to hit you from an opportunity attack. Not her, but something.
All right.
That is going to be... that's only an 11. So you feel something, and it almost feels like the water itself tries to reach up and grab you, and you manage to kind of like swing your arms around enough to displace it, and then I guess you assume you just press forward, swinging as you do. So make attacks with disadvantage.
I feel the water attacking me. I'm like, oh, it's you. Oh, I'm talking to you later. I've been looking for you. But first, this one. And I'm gonna attack with no wreck.
Not one wreck to be had.
Not one wreck.
Not one wreck. Well, disadvantage then.
Oh, wait, it's disadvantage? I thought it was...
You're currently blinded. The fog means that you cannot see your target.
Oh. So then would the advantage make it just regular then?
If you reckless, it would make it a regular roll, yes.
That's what I'm doing.
But that means that any attacks against you will be the same, basically.
That's fine. So the first one is... Okay, so the first roll is a 23. Let's see if it crits. It does not.
Well, you wouldn't have got the second roll because it was just a straight roll.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, good thing the first one was a
the good thing it definitely hits. It connects with something in the water.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna deal something damage.
Sure.
So that is 14, now it's force damage.
Okay, so the ebon scorn in your hands kind of cuts through the fog, and this sword is beautifully balanced and well made, and it cuts something. Blood kind of streaks the blade now. This vague shape moving in the mist around you, and you just hear another sort of like anguished cry of pain, really, as you do so. Second attack.
Yes.
All right. Disadvantage. Well, normal roll because you're recklessly.
That would be a crit. Oh,
even with the disadvantage. Wow. Yep. Yeah. Well, my crit rules so it's max the dice and then add modifiers, then roll the damage die again. So.
Oh wait, the disadvantage would be on this because the reckless was the first one, so there's no reckless.
Reckless is every attack you make in the round.
So then it was just one roll.
It was just one roll.
Okay, cool. Yep. Then yes, crit. Okay, we're gonna brutal. So you can roll one additional melee weapon die when determining.
So this would be, so you'd be doing 2d10 damage because it adds an extra weapon die. So max that for my crit rolls is 20. Add 2 more d10 and then add your normal modifier. And that's the total damage.
So 2d10 plus 25, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
Big hit.
9, 11. So 36.
36 points of damage. The sword strikes out and pierces, and you kind of almost like swing it, and you hear a deep gash rend, and just again one of these wailing like screams. Pain will free me.
I like pull the sword out. I'm like, that's a weird response, but all right.
Sure. Okay. Sensing that there is something attacking it, this Medusa is going to try and do a couple of attacks against you. Interesting. So as a note, Clive, because you were swinging, you were just you're not closing your eyes or anything because the fog's keeping you from seeing the Medusa, right? You're just kind of swinging blindly. Okay. Okay. The first thing is you feel I'm going to in fact not use that dice anymore.
Ooh, dice jail.
It has rolled very badly. You hear like hissing of snakes and something snapping around your body, but none of the blows connect. And then that's better. That is going to be a 21 to hit. Okay, so what you feel next is this great kind of serpent's tail striking out and wrapping you up. You're immediately going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, but you're raging, so that's 3 points of bludgeoning damage. But you are grappled, and what happens is you see this serpentine woman, like the tail wraps around you. She grabs your shoulders and pulls herself right next to you where the mist isn't going to provide you any protection. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as she kind of like grabs you and looks into your eyes.
All right, let's see.
I mean, this is a barbarian. I'm going to assume that Clive can succeed on this.
That would be a 10.
You are not immediately petrified, but you are restrained, Clive, as like you feel your legs beginning to stiffen and patches of your fur beginning to turn to stone as she looks into you, and she just kind of screams in your face as she does so.
So then as my reaction, because I failed a saving throw, my unstable backlash kicks in and I roll on the wild surge chart again.
Okay. So this will replace the effect on the sword, right?
Does it say? Let me see. Oh yeah, it does. Okay.
Okay. So it replaces the effect.
Whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before the rage ends, that creature takes 1d6 force damage.
Okay. Good to know for next time. So you begin sort of reverberating this aura of color, but you feel yourself beginning to stiffen and slow as she just kind of hisses in your face. Meanwhile, you're currently being grabbed by her, so this thing can't really do much there. You feel something shifts in the water. Something kind of shifts around and is pushing itself to the edges. And then it will take its action to ready an action. Agnis.
I still can't see her, right? Because the fog is still present.
Right now, you can't see anybody that is not right next to you. And I mean like in your face next to you, basically.
Okay.
Like you can't see Tarkhal, you can't see Agnis, you can't see Clive. You've heard the sounds of combat, and you know roughly where she is, but you can't see anything.
So I'm going to send Candor toward her. And because of our enhanced bond, once Candor can see her, assuming that Candor can't be turned to stone, and I guess I'll have Candor come around from the back just in case. Go around behind her. Once Candor can see her, I can cast my spell through Candor as opposed to from myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super great. And I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Yeah, I mean, you can cast all these spells. The thing is with the mist, even if Candor can't see her either, because Candor is blocked by the mist as well. You know roughly where she is. Any attacks will have disadvantage in this mist. This mist is like protecting you from her gaze.
Can see her?
Candor can't see her. Candor is as blinded by the mist as everybody else is.
Can Candor land on her back?
If he gets like that close to her, technically by the rules of D&D, still, any attacks, because it's still coming from your space, it would still be disadvantage attack roll.
But it says it can originate from either me or Candor.
Oh, okay. In that case, then I would say yes, but there's a chance that she might be able to turn around and look at Candor, and you don't know if Candor's going to be immune to the petrification or not. So you can risk it.
It's worth finding out, because I can summon Candor again.
Yeah.
Candor won't die.
In the rules, it is as Candor gets in, if he wants to get close enough that like literally land on her back or like, be in the same space, she can still turn around and like, still glance at him. So you can still make the attacks, but Candor's going to need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I don't believe Candor is immune to being petrified. I will check.
I'm so interested. I would assume that a spirit can't be petrified.
You'd assume that. D&D likes to be weird. Let me pull this in. Circle of Wildfire. Wildfire Spirit. Condition immunities. Condition immunities, it is not immune to petrification.
Well, let's roll a con save for Candor.
Make the attacks for the Scorching Ray, but then we're going to be making a con save.
And can Candor cast a ranged spell?
If he is right next to her, he'll be at disadvantage because range targets
then
against.
I'm going to change my spell, and I'm going to instead do Burning Hands.
That will also hit Clive, as she is currently grappling Clive.
Well, that's just poopy. Instead,
he's like wrapped around Clive, and so like any sort of area effect on her is also going to hit Clive.
I can take it. That's what I'm for.
Is she wearing any armor? Okay.
Just ragged, almost looks like robes, like maybe a mage or a priestess might wear.
Okay. All right. Sorry, one more thing.
It's okay. It's a lot going on.
It's, just trying to be clever over here.
Sure.
Did Clive get wounded?
Yes. Not much. Like a tiny touch.
He's probably fine then.
It's probably fine. Burning hands.
I'm probably fine.
I'll just burning hands.
Do it.
Fine.
Sure.
Cander's little wings will just go boop.
Okay. Well, you have disadvantage on the saving throw, Clive, because you're currently restrained. And then I guess that's dex saving throws all around.
Mm-hmm.
What's the DC?
16.
Okay. She manages to kind of like pull herself away or position Clive in front of the major blast and is going to succeed. Clive?
That works out great for her because I fail. So
there you go. So Clive is going to take full damage. She's going to take half.
All right. Well, now it's Cander's turn, and he's going to with
What's
annoyance.
the damage on the burning hands?
Oh, sorry. It's 3d6 fire.
Yep. Just casting it at first level. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll it?
Yeah.
9.
9 points of damage, halved for 4 for her, 9 to Clive.
literally using me as a meat shield.
Yeah, literally like lifts you up and like positions you in the direction of where this flame is coming from. And then con save for Candle, please.
Oh, right. What is Cander's constitution?
I think it's +2.
If it's +2, he gets an 11.
It's +2. So the same thing begins to happen to Candor. He is restrained, and he kind of basically falls out of the air, lands in the water, and you begin seeing steam and smoke kind of piling up from where he is. And little bird wing is his fiery wing is beginning to turn to stone.
So he can't cast his spell on his turn then, or could he?
He still can. He's just restrained, so he has disadvantage.
Is super annoyed. Makes a little sound, and he casts flame seed.
Disadvantage.
Let's see. What is flame seed is +8 to hit. So either 16 or 10. So 18 at disadvantage.
18 still hits.
Great. And that's going to do...
So just before he lands in the water...
7 fire damage.
7 points of fire damage. Does catch her back. You see this black sort of scorch mark all down her scaled kind of skin. Partially where the skin was once elven is now kind of scaled and tinged green as Candor finishes his turn. Everything on your turn done, Agnis?
Yeah.
Tarkhal, while you're in this state, it's almost... it's bizarre. It's almost like being in a dream that you're aware of, but you don't really know what's going on. And you just remember walking down, there being like a flash of light. And there is this kind of moment where you can almost, there's two things. You begin to feel this deep reverberating breathing around you. Almost like surrounding you, almost like it's coming from your own chest. And then accompanying it is a woman singing, and it's a familiar voice. It almost sounds like Willow Song, just faintly singing in the distance. Azara.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it possible to dispel the fog cloud as a bonus action?
If it's your spell, I believe you can choose to end it. Yeah, as you wish.
Then I am going to let everyone know. I'm going to tell them, avert your eyes, I'm dropping the fog.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, as a bonus action, drop the fog.
Okay, and I'm assuming you just said you're going to avert your eyes.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Okay, so you're still blinded against her.
Right.
You can't, you're, not avoiding to look at her and stuff like that.
Right. And then I am going to... What is the range of that? that's probably a bad idea. I don't want to hurt Clive. Gosh dang it, Clive.
I can take it.
If I cast a spell that has a saving throw, is there advantage or disadvantage, or is it just like...
No, it wouldn't be affected.
Cool. Then, Hail Mary, I'm going to cast Polymorph.
Interesting.
And try and...
Oh, I'm going to ask you a question. I know it's an annoying question. I'm sorry to be a Jeremy. Does it say a creature you can see?
It does. Okay. I'm not going to cast
Never
Polymorph.
apologize for being a Jeremy.
Then you know what?
I'm a stickler. I love the rules. Okay, I love them.
Then Azara, knowing that she has the dragon's constitution, she's going to look at Medusa. She's going to drop Fog Cloud, and then point and try and turn her into a butterfly.
Sure.
Cute.
A butterfly. All right. Well, you make a Constitution saving throw for me for the petrifying gaze, and then I'll make the Wisdom saving throw, I believe.
21.
21. And then I get a not very high 6. So we watch as Azara, you feel like you kind of catch her eye now that the fog cloud disappears. And she looks like in pain. She tears are streaming from her eyes, and her face is contorted in rage. And then she just transforms into a quite pleasant looking, beautiful butterfly that kind of flaps around in confusion and annoyance. Clive, you are no longer grappled.
Before Clive can get at her, because I know that any damage will revert polymorph, I want to, because I'm guessing we're out of initiative now, right? No? Shit.
Well, no, because first of all, Clive is probably going to destroy the butterfly, and then she'll turn back. And then second of all, there may be other things in here that are still...
You're right. Then, as a bonus action, I guess, if I can do that, or as a free action, I just want to say, don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Don't touch the butterfly. Like, Azara will just try and impart that to everybody. Right. Just like, don't touch the butterfly.
Clive.
Wow, a little butterfly. It's so pretty. But where'd the big lady go?
All right, Clive, what are you doing?
Is there water things that I can stab?
Looking around, you're not sure where it went. This thing is technically invisible while it's in the water.
All right, I'm just gonna smack the water.
Sure. Pick a direction. Roll a D. So you're just gonna pick a random spot around you and just start smacking water.
Yep.
Roll a D8 for me.
Okay. 4.
Okay. I will roll a D8. Let's see if you get the same one. So you begin just hacking the water and kind of moving through in a direction, and you're just splashing water all over the place.
So, man, just...
Yeah. The only thing actually you would notice now that you've moved into the pool, Clive, you do see the kind of white light that was coming out of the pool. You realize that there's something shiny in the water, like a glowing, you're not quite sure what it is, but there's like an object, like a handheld object in the pool that's glowing.
Can I get it?
Yeah, you grab it. When you pull it out, it looks to be like a hand mirror, kind of a beautiful silver hand mirror with a lady's face on the back. And it's brilliant. Like, you look into it and it's very pretty and blazing, and it's glowing, softly glowing.
Am I allowed to say something to Clive?
Nope. You used your turn. Clive, anything else on your turn?
I'll look at this mirror. I'll look around. I see no sign of the water thing.
Not yet.
I'm gonna bonus.
Unfortunately, it's really annoying. You were in the fog cloud when this thing moved away, so you don't know where it is. If it attacks you again, then you'll be able to see and know where it is. But until it does, it's invisible.
I'm going to bonus action daunting roar at the water.
Ooh, okay.
So let's see.
Okay. So what kind of save?
Wisdom 16. So
you roar. You can't see it. You don't know if it's had any effect, but yeah, you let out this technically I need to make a save for the butterfly as well. The butterfly just immediately begins flying away from you, and yeah, that's what you get. End of turn.
Yeah, the roar was
Okay.
partially like, I want to put this thing in fear, more just like frustration. So I'm just screaming out water.
Yeah, sure. So you're like screaming at the water. The butterfly flies to the corner of the room, probably towards like the back corner of the room. Agnis.
I know.
That's right, Rainy.
That was the daunting
right.
roar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Aren't you guys scared?
Oh,
So scared.
I failed the check.
I'm going to, man. Clive is starting to petrify, right?
that's right, Clive.
Oh,
You
yeah.
need to. Sorry about this.
Uh-oh.
You need to make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay, that's 26.
Okay, so the stone flakes away and you feel your movement return to you. We should have done that before you started swinging attacks and stuff. But yeah, the petrification ends on Clive. He is no longer petrified or being petrified.
Okay, so he's fine. Tarkhal is not fine though.
Tarkhal is a statue.
Yeah,
He's not good.
And I assume, because like you said, we're seasoned adventurers. So would Agnis know that nothing other than like a greater restoration could help here?
It's the most likely cure. Yes, I mean there are spells like stone to flesh and flesh to stone and stuff that might help as well. But
she would know that her like revivify and like,
I mean revivify. No, it's for dead creatures.
Cure wounds,
remove
none of
curse.
that.
You could try, but I think that Agnis hasn't maybe had any physical experience. You know stories that magic can restore those turned to stone, but what exactly will do it? I think apart from greater restoration, you're not sure, but you can always try.
No, I think that's going to have to be a later problem. He seems safe enough as he can be right now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to cast Summon Beast.
Okay.
And I am going to summon a dolphin.
Okay.
And set it to battle in the water.
Okay. It just barely fits. This is like waist high water, so the dolphin, can completely submerge, but is next to you. Yeah. Okay.
And that dolphin is looking for whatever is in that pool and trying to attack it.
Okay.
And Candor will cast nothing.
Yeah, right now, apart from the butterfly, you don't know if there's any other enemy. Like, you can't see anything. Nothing's attacking you guys. The butterfly is kind of just flittering around. That's it. Okay. Tarkhal. That breathing, it doesn't get any louder, but you feel it closer to you, and the singing begins to sound closer and closer to you. My knight, Tarkhal. You need my help. Do you need my help? You hear this voice just whispering in your mind. And you're certain it's Willa songs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I probably can't speak, but my mind responds.
Yeah, you can speak as if, to you, it's like you're floating in darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, Willow Song, what can you do?
You are in a place. I know what haunts you. I know what has happened to you. I can help, Tarkhal. But you must promise me something. I can't help you if you don't promise me, if you don't swear something to me.
What is it?
Swear that you'll always protect me. Swear that you'll always protect me from anyone.
Hmm.
I swear it.
You feel relief. The breathing is accompanied by a heavy, strong heartbeat. And you feel a surge of magic through your body. You can actually feel like a kind of power surging through you. It feels majestic and ancient and noble. But there's an element to it that we'll talk about a little bit as well. But you feel like first it's in your fingers, where before they wouldn't move. you begin to feel something stretch. And those of you who are nearby see the stone around Tarkhal just beginning to break. And you see like one finger comes free, two fingers come free. It was not going to happen this turn, Tarkhal, but you are the petrification is basically becoming undone by whatever force. What you do see, Agnis, if you look back at Tarkhal, and Azara would probably notice this as well, is lines of green magic stretching out. Make perception checks, both of you. I've thought of a cool detail. What do we get?
You know what that's the face of, Mark.
That's a natural 20, I'm assuming.
You know what that's the face of. Yeah, it is.
What do we get, Agnis?
15.
15. Agnis, you see the green lines of magic, but you kind of distracted and you're just happy that Tarkhal's been relieved. Azara, though, the details, like this was like you needed a high roll for this.
It would be 25 in total if that matters.
Yeah, that's I figured it would be quite high. You notice that there's a pattern to the green magic. It's not just random lines. They're scales. And we watch as like the hand begins to break free. Azara. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
Zara's like, saving that away for later.
Processing.
So many things just clicked into place in my mind just now. I'm going to put that back here. Azara is going to turn to Clive and say, can I like plot as an action? Can I do that?
Can I plot as an action? What would you like to do, Mica?
Well, okay. So knowing what I know about Medusas, which I'm assuming Azara knows about Medusas, and is knowing that there's a mirror there, is if a Medusa looks into a mirror, they'll turn to stone.
Yes.
So I want to like plan with my team to bring the butterfly out of being a butterfly and shove the mirror.
Sure, you can yell at Clive and Agnis that's what you want to do. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that's my action, is to like plan all of this together so that, you know, we shoot off a small cantrip at the butterfly, any amount of damage will turn it back into a Medusa. She'll come back into being a Medusa. Clive shoves the mirror in her face, and then she turns to stone, and then we don't have to deal with her anymore, and we can navigate this dungeon in peace. Yeah.
Well, if you want, you can absolutely tell Clive that's what you want to do. I will leave it to Clive whether that's what he wants to do.
And then I will promise him that leaves us to being able to fight the water spirits both here and back at the temple sooner rather than later, and not turn into stone, giving him the possibility of not fighting water spirits later.
Sure, Clive.
That is my pitch.
That's your turn.
Would it be a full action to just throw the mirror at Azara?
Well, you can move now, and this room isn't particularly big, so you could just move up to Azara and hand it to her, or like toss it to her, and Azara's good enough; she'll be able to catch it easily enough. Yeah, I'd say that you can do that.
But would it be a full action, or would that be?
No, I'd say bonus action at best. I'd say use an item bonus action. Normally, it would be an action because it's like using an item, but I'd say for this, like throwing a mirror, bonus. Action.
It's just kind of like, all right, whatever here, because I'm still fixated on the water.
Got it.
Sure.
And then I would like to use my actual action to use my magic awareness. It says until your next turn, you know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. When you sense a spell, you learn in School of Magic. Basically, I want to see if I can pinpoint in the water where this is.
Interesting. So technically, this isn't a spell. And it's not a magic item. You sense immediately. There's a couple of things, actually. You sense that the mirror that you just threw to Azara is a magic item. You sense that you're all affected by magic. Also, Tarkhal's under the effect. Like, there's a spell freeing Tarkhal from this petrification. You also recognize. The creature, whatever the water thing is, it wasn't a spell. So your magical awareness, I would say, though, that maybe you get a vague direction. I'd say that it's enough to know vaguely where this creature is, and it has moved into the furthest corner away from you. It is moved away as if it's afraid of you, as has the butterfly.
Good. Then for my did we say the mirror throw was a free action or a bonus action?
Well, what's your magical awareness? Is that a bonus action?
That's an action.
Okay, then it was a bonus action to toss the mirror. So you're pretty much out.
I will menacingly slowly walk towards that corner.
Cool. On the daunting roar, does it go away like on a saving throw, or is it like until the end of your next turn, or is it like a minute? What does it say on duration?
Become frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so this is the end of your next turn. So whatever is there seemingly becomes aware. The butterfly flaps back and is like flapping in your face. It can't do any damage. It's a butterfly, but it's trying to attack you in the best way that a butterfly can. Also, you see the water surge back towards your direction, and it rises up like an amorphous shape. It kind of brings itself to bear, no longer frightened of you, and is going to try and strike you, Clive. That's a natural 20.
Yes.
So this is a crit against you. That's 3d6. So 9 plus another 3d6. 10. 20 points of bludgeoning damage, half to 10 because it's just bludgeoning damage. And you are grappled as the water basically scoops you in. And it's also going to completely engulf you inside itself. You are now drowning as well. Like it kind of just sucks you in, and you're like, as you're restrained in the water.
What's with Clive and water?
You know, with my reaction, now I'm inside of it. I'm going to react with my unstable backlash.
Sure. Let's see what happens.
See what happens in here. Come on, come on. Oh, I got the bolt of light.
Oh, really?
So, bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see. I'm assuming I can see the water I'm in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are aware of it now. As
I assume I just
like
explode with light.
So yeah, is it a saving throw? Is it an attack roll? What do we do here?
Constitution saving throw.
That's unfortunately quite high. That was a 19.
Okay, well, let's see. To your rage ends. Neat. It doesn't say half damage, so I just
sometimes on like smaller damage things it doesn't. So the water bursts out, but it's made of water. It kind of just scoops itself out the way, and then the beam fires forward. But that's still going to stay in effect. I believe you can do it every turn now.
Oh, that's right. Sick.
As you do so. In that case, Agnis.
Clive is in this water, and his face says he's having the time of his life.
I mean, I don't see anything that I can really do to help, so I guess I'm just going to be like...
Oh, no, I thought our plan was you were going to hit it with a cantrip, and I was going to shove the mirror in its face.
Okay, yeah. Then I am going to create bonfire. Well, would that even hit the butterfly? Probably not. I will primal savagery the butterfly.
You rush into the water, like wade through the water, and then... come with claws down on a butterfly. Sure. Okay.
And then the dolphin will continue searching for something to fight in the water.
The dolphin can fight the water. It can make an attack against the water. I'm assuming you've got the stats and stuff for it. So
you would think I had pulled that up, but I got distracted.
Well, let's do the primal savagery first, because this is going to be the big one in that it's potentially going to bring the Medusa back. So
all right.
Is it? Well, if I use my action to plan, is there a way to make it so like I held my reaction?
Yeah, that's what I was assuming, that you were holding your action, and you'll use your reaction to like
Yeah. Like the second she pops out. Cool.
Oh my gosh. Melee spell attack for primal savagery is just my unarmed strike hit bonus, right?
It's your spell attack bonus.
Spell attack bonus. Okay, that's much better. But still horrible. 11.
I'm going to say a butterfly is going to have a higher AC than 11 because it's small and like flapping around.
Wait, should I check?
Do you have the stats for a butterfly?
I can find it real quick.
Because I don't even know if a butterfly has a stat block.
I did not think I could miss like that with a butterfly.
A butterfly, I do not believe, has a stat block. So
doesn't.
I will use like a bat's stat block instead.
Okay.
A bat has an AC of 12. With the glowing poison claws, the butterfly.
That's embarrassing.
I mean, you ever try to like punch a fly?
Yeah.
That's why fighting is weak against flying. Have you ever tried to punch a bird?
That's really...
I have not.
I've learned so much today.
Anyway. let's move on from Anna's embarrassing.
Actually, this will be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry. The dolphin's gonna make the attack against the water because this is the order that it'll go. They make a slam attack.
Sure.
At 9. My rolling is horrible today.
Splashes into the water to no effect, seemingly.
Cool. Well, cantrip.com. Cantripbrand.com. Very close. Candor is going to cast Flame Seed at the butterfly.
Okay.
Good old Candor back.
AC 12.
Oh, come on, Candor, don't let me down. Oh my gosh.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was gonna fail. Oh, that's bad. That's so unfortunate.
I'm double checking, but I'm pretty sure that fails. Yep, sure does. Sure does get the exact same roll that his mama did. So
11. Sails past, hits the stone.
Agnis looks at Azara like, I'm sorry.
Well, Tarkhal, your arm feels movement in it. Your chest kind of breaks open. Your face, I'd say that you still can't move. Your speed's going to be 0, but if you want to take actions, I would say you now can, as like your mouth becomes free. Like you can see what's going on. You're looking around. Clive appears to be completely engulfed in like a kind of water monster. You see Agnis trying to attack a butterfly. What do you want to do?
This image is horrible. Agnis, this like fire druid, is like flaming like claws, like la la, and she's got even a helper casting fire, and this butterfly is just like do 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 do.
And Azara's just like holding a mirror, going, "No, hit the butterfly, hit the butterfly."
Tarkhal will look around and. He's looking for Medusa because that's who I would remember, right? And not there. Okay.
That was the first thing you saw, and then there was nothing. It was black.
And then I think I would notice Agnis trying to swat a butterfly, but I don't think he would think much of it. Sure. And then he'd see Clive floating in water, and he'd call out, "Are you good in there?"
As he's just like repeatedly exploding with
I think I would try to then just like, assuming the water is this like is spiritual. I'm gonna try to just throw I want to like throw my Kiss of Silver through the bottom of it.
Sure.
What a mess.
Yeah, this is insane.
Pretty big mess.
D20 plus my action plus 8, so 23 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits, and technically you have an ally within 5 feet because Clive's inside.
Within 0 feet.
That'll be 25 then.
25 points of damage. Kiss of Silver kind of strikes through the water, cuts through, and the magic of the knife actually, almost severs the water, and you watch as half of it kind of collapses around Clive, still holding him in place, but yeah, a heavy blow against this water spirit, whatever it is. Cool. Restrain Tarkhal, so I'm assuming nothing else on your turn. Azara.
Yes. Is it possible for Azara? Okay. Is it possible to do can I do 2 things at once? Can I if I quicken a spell,
if you quicken a spell and you want to use your action to basically, you'd have to move into the water as well. You're gonna have to move because you want to get. It's only a tiny little hand mirror. So you want to get as close as you can to where the Medusa is going to appear and then shove it in its face. So I'd say bonus action, and then you can use an action to basically try and force the Medusa to look into the reflection.
Cool. We're gonna do that. Okay. Quicken spell. So Reemy's angry. Do I cast a cantrip or a regular spell?
It's up to you.
It doesn't matter.
As long as it's an action. You can quicken any spell that's an action, and you spend sorcery points to make it into a bonus action.
Can do. Okay. So I'm going to hit it with the Firebolt. Might as well. That is 15 plus 7 to hit, so that's more than 12.
It is, and it 1 damage. It has 1 hit point. Cool. So the fire kind of engulfs the thing. The Medusa reappears in the space, kind of like emerging from this form, and then you shove the thing in. For the purposes of this, because it's kind of a classic Medusa thing, she immediately sees her reflection, and there is a look of absolute anguish and hatred at herself. You see that as the woman, as this Medusa looks, she just lets out the most chilling, no, Suni, please, and then turns completely to stone. The water lets go of Clive and just reverts to nothing. And we are out of initiative.
Azara will just kind of pull back the mirror.
Sure.
Be like, it's a nice mirror.
Oh, well.
Kind of just brushing herself off. Agnes is like, didn't feel as good as I thought that one would.
Warm up for the water spirits later, right?
Well, was that a water? Did we already?
I mean, there's more in the other baths. It's fine. It's fine. I thought everyone's just feeling super awkward.
Tarkhal, the last bits of stone kind of fall off of you, and you are no longer petrified. There is a strange, like, you can almost feel your heartbeat, Tarkhal. You can almost hear it. It's not loud enough that it's distracting, but yeah, you can almost feel it in your chest.
Yeah, wait, Tarkhal, how did you unpetrify yourself?
It was Willow Song, actually. And I'll kind of like grab my amulet, the brooch. And
I look around. Willow Song here?
No, she's not here, but she was in my head while I was stone. I don't know how she did that, but she said she could help, and she did.
Well, that's nice of her.
That is nice of her, isn't it? And then Tarkhal will smile, thinking of Willow Song.
I will look at Azara like, what do you think of this?
Azara will give Agnes a look that says, we need to talk later.
That was fun then.
Clive, I imagine, goes...
Clive is drenched as well. Yeah. He's like...
Yeah, he does the shake and the poof. Like, you see, I was exploding with light. I stabbed the big snake lady, then she was gone, and then there's a butterfly, and then the big in the water, and now...
When he goes, the dolphin goes, and jumps behind him like a show.
Sure.
So that was all we had to do here, right? Is there any loot?
There's gotta be more.
There's no other rooms. Like, this is just an enclosed
Yeah, it almost looks like I'd say that Azara, maybe Agnis as well. This looks like a holy place. Like, above, you definitely know the above is a temple. So this almost looks like a sacred pool, maybe something used in rituals or part of worship or something like that. The water has a similar consistency to the hot springs that you were in. Like, it has that rejuvenating feeling when you're in it. But apart from that, no, just the ragged nest of rags in one corner. No other doors or chambers. Nothing.
Can I roll some sort of check? Like, Agnes is wondering, this person's a Medusa. They were calling out to Suni for help. They've been here a long time.
Also, the story that Sayeth told us about, like, the lady that worshipped Suni but was homely.
Mad.
And then went mad and killed the people and then was residing in the basement. Like, was that her?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess Agnes is trying to put together clues to be like, how did this person come to be here? Because Agnes is feeling a little, like, sympathy. Like, we kind of were doing a good thing, but this woman seemed tortured. Like, could we have tried to save her?
I think also Azara, knowing Agnes would feel like this, would point out, like, that's why she didn't kill her. She just turned her to stone just to see what's going on here.
Yeah, so I imagine Agnes is kind of like poking at the statue a little bit, and Azara's probably like, it's okay, she's not dead.
Exactly. And then I think, and she would have, like, imparted, like, she has the same feelings too, which is why she didn't want to kill her.
Well, what do we do with her?
We can leave her here for now, and if Tarkhal is indeed right that the sisters aren't who they say they are, we can just let them know the situation is taken care of. Technically, we're not lying, it's taken care of, and this gives us the option to come back and save this poor soul if this is indeed the original creator. Who is it, the woman's name in the book, Mark?
Silvari.
Yes, if this is indeed Sorry, Rini's very angry.
Angry.
If this is indeed Sylvari, then maybe we can save her somehow. But for now, she's, and Azara will like knock on the stone, be like, not going anywhere.
Sure.
True.
Well-
I'll kind of clasp Tarkhal's shoulder and be like, I'm glad you're all right.
Thank you. Me too. And I'm glad you guys had no problem while I was stone cold scared.
Wow, wow. And with the wonderful dad joke, we will bring this episode of Knights of Eveningstar to an end, I feel. Yeah, with you guys, more of this, the Temple of the Restful Lily, more mysteries to solve, and more things to look into, and more exciting developments with characters making promises about things.
Just willy-nilly.
I was stoned.
big deal.
What else is he gonna do?
Yeah,
Exactly.
my girlfriend's super cool, guys. Seriously.
My
Yeah,
girlfriend said,
Why
will you
doesn't anyone
protect
like my
me?
girlfriend?
Man,
From
what am I gonna say?
anyone, as she says menacingly. Not
What does
menacingly at
what do
all.
you say to your partner when they say, will you protect me
Of course, you can say everyone.
course
Exactly.
I'll
He doesn't
protect
even
you
go
always.
here.
You know,
Your partner.
strangers,
Wow, he's calling her
family,
partner.
sisters.
Yeah,
In
well, why would my
particular,
sister attack my girlfriend? That'd be
That
so
would be
weird.
weird and crazy and would never ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
Crazy.
swearing allegiance
Anyway.
to go ahead. That's fine.
Should we do some shout outs and then wrap this whole thing up?
Let's do it.
Let's
Who
do
starts,
it.
Mark?
Let's start with Shady.
On. That was my shout out. I tag Nate. I wanted to get two dad jokes. Yeah, I wanted to get.
Oh boy.
Full dad mode activate.
Got him in. NateWantsToBattle.com/tour. Tour's coming up somehow in 2 months. It was 4 months, like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know what happened.
That is how time works.
Also, cantripbrand.com. That's a thing, but I'm also bad at remembering, actual dates for stuff. So I don't know what's going on anymore. So on that note, I'll tag Anna.
Well, you may have noticed some cantripbrand.com streetwear items popping up on your timeline that you haven't seen before. I wonder when you might see them on cantripbrand.com. It might be worth going to cantripbrand.com or checking out your favorite influencers using #cantripstyle. I would if I were you. And you
Anna, is there like a newsletter or an emailing list you can sign up for to get all the latest cantrip news?
If you go to cantripbrand.com and sign up for the mailing list, you will also get a 10% off code.
Oh, even better. I was just hoping for the latest announcements and updates, but a 10% discount code?
It's really smart of you, Mark, because if you are on the mailing list, I would bet that you will find out some things sooner and have some cooler opportunities than those who are not on the mailing list. You can find me at Anna Prosser. I tag Mica.
I actually don't know where anyone is in the layout, so I'm just presenting everywhere.
Excuse me, as I shamelessly plug for my friends, go to cantripbrand.com and check out these cool D&D tabletop streetwear style RPG. Anyway, hi, I'm Mica Burton. You can find me at Mica Burton. You can find my horse adventures at Mica Strides. I am your local friendly horse girl. I'm done, Mark.
Thanks. You can find me, Sherlock_Hulmes, pretty much anywhere on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, all of that good stuff, Instagram. But the main thing you can do is come and check out my D&D show, High Rollers, which I've been doing for 5 years. Very, very epic. We just had some absolutely crazy high-level, level 15 stuff going on recently. High Rollers D&D on Twitter, Twitch, podcast, YouTube, everything like that. We're also doing, we just did a really fun one-shot, kind of like customized 5e for some games, a game that just came out that was done. We should be having that up on our YouTube channel soon, where I was a furry for it. I'll be honest. I was a raccoon man. We were all dressed up in face paint and animal costumes.
You looked great.
It was a ton of fun. And you should come and check that out. High Rollers D&D, and then Sherlock_Hulmes for everything else. And that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Knights of Eveningstar. That's it from us. Enjoy the rest of the D&D Twitch program. We'll see you next time. Bye.